Next on Webster News tonight, a marijuana operation is promising big money for a central Massachusetts town. How the town says it will help the community. Plus, new details reveal a pedestrian accident in the city could have been avoided. What police say caused the crash. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Brittany Schaefer. A marijuana growing operation set in Webster will be benefiting the town. Curaleaf is expected to generate thousands of dollars for Webster. Town manager Doug Willardson says it will make a big difference in the community. And as our Chandler Walsh explains, the company will also be donating to groups in town.
A marijuana growing operation is expected to generate up to $100,000 in revenue in the town of Webster its first few years of operation. It's a significant amount of money for the small town.
They've been good partners in town, and for the most part, no one knows that they exist, so it's kind of a win-win for everyone in town.
Curaleaf operates a cultivation facility in Webster to sell in their medical dispensary in neighboring Oxford. Webster town manager Doug Willardson says the money will help improve the community.
It makes a big difference, and that's a couple of jobs. That's more capital improvements we can make in the community.
As part of the host agreement with Webster, Curaleaf will donate money to local groups. Friday, they gave to Webster Little League, Webster Dudley Veterans Council, and Webster Dudley Historical Society. The three nonprofits say donations like this keep them running.
Little things like our electric bill is $80 last month. I mean, it's not that that's a lot of money, but when you don't have money really coming in, that tends to be a burden.
Curaleaf is now working to begin the process of selling recreational cannabis.
We've submitted all of our paperwork. Now we're waiting on the Cannabis Control Commission to approve everything, tell us we're good to go, come check our place out.
So far, Cultivate Holdings in Leicester is the only marijuana dispensary approved for recreational use in Worcester County. Like Curaleaf, Cultivate grows and sells medical marijuana. Curaleaf's Kate Steinberg says medical dispensaries already know the business and have experience.
Adding on recreational to medicinal is a lot easier than opening a brand new dispensary, starting fresh, not having experience with the point of sale system, not having experience with patients who may have issues going on, who need your help.
Willardson says the town of Webster has already voted to allow Curaleaf to grow both medical and recreational marijuana at their cultivation facility. Curaleaf says they're hoping to become one of the next recreational shops in the county. In Webster, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
New details are released about a 13-year-old girl who was allegedly struck by a Jeep on Park Ave in Worcester Thursday. According to police, the driver was charged with operating a vehicle with defective equipment. They say the rear brakes were inoperable, making it difficult to stop in time. Police say speed was not a factor. The girl suffered a laceration to her head, but is said to be in good condition. Millberry and state police on scene of a one-car crash Friday afternoon. Police say the driver crashed into a light pole and fled on foot. State police and the Millberry Police K-9 unit were called in to help search for a driver. Millberry police say all suspects have been identified. It's unclear if they have been charged at this time. An Oxford kennel appears vacant. Crates are empty and dogs are gone at Laughlin Kennels Friday. A court ordered required the business to stop importing animals from other breeders and stop selling pet supplies. According to the Telegram, an Oxford animal control officer inspected the property Thursday and found no dogs. The court order gave the kennel 90 days to comply. Thursday marked the deadline. A Worcester nonprofit organization is celebrating 45 years with their Faces of Change Gala Friday night. It's Pathways for Change's biggest fundraising event of the year. The gala had a photo booth, a live auction, raffles, mystery boxes, and a buffet dinner. Director of Counseling Heidi Sue LaBeouf says Pathways for Change receives some government funding, but it doesn't cover everything.
I'm sorry.
Being able to do a fundraiser like this and get donations really helps us to continue being able to do free counseling services for the next 45 years. For our live auction alone, we're hoping to raise
Pathways for Change offers free counseling support to anyone experiencing sexual violence. LaBeouf says with the recent Me Too movement, now is an important time to talk about rape and supporting survivors.
Pathways Pathways and other rape crisis centers have been trying to get people to talk about this for a very, very long time. So we start believing survivors. So when they say, this happened to me, we don't say, prove it, or we don't say, well, what did you do? We're going to say, I believe you. How can I help?
The event was held at the College of the Holy Cross's Hogan Center. A World War II veteran who served in the U.S. Navy is celebrating his 100th birthday today. Leo DiDonato was born in Worcester and says he's looking forward to more birthdays. Our Rosalind Flaherty spoke with the birthday boy today. She has the details.
There we go.
Leo DiDonato shows off his new convertible. He bought it for himself for his 100th birthday.
I don't drive anymore. She won't let me drive.
DiDonato reached the milestone Friday and says he doesn't feel any different. He was born in Worcester in 1918 and moved to Dudley, where he grew up. He served in World War II in the U.S. Navy Construction Battalion and ended up in Iwo Jima.
I went to the cemetery, seen some of the United States boys. Of course, brought tears to my eyes, hoping that it wasn't me, and at that time it wasn't. So here I am.
In 1946, he started a construction business in town where he built single and multi-family houses.
And then I was building drive-in theaters. Then I started getting big, a little too big. I had to have too many men working for me, and it wasn't my pleasure. My pleasure was actually plastering houses.
DiDonato now lives in Uxbridge and has one living son, 3 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren, who he loves spending time with.
They make me happy.
He can't wait for the spring when he can really enjoy his new car and is looking forward to celebrating more birthdays.
All I'm thinking of now is live to 105.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
And it's also been 100 years since the death of Sergeant Cornelius Kelly. The Canal District Alliance is holding an event to remember his sacrifice in World War I. Kelly died from wounds sustained in battle in France. The city of Worcester named the busy intersection Kelly Square in his honor. The 100th anniversary event is being held at Kelly Square Saturday at 4 p.m. Worcester Polytechnic Institute hosting the 2018 Different Games Conference. The weekend-long event aims to educate gaming students on the importance of diversity and inclusion in the gaming world. The conference includes panels and workshops with local, national, and international gamers. Organizer Michael DeAnda says often the stereotype of a gamer is a white heterosexual male, and this isn't always the case. He says everyone in the gaming community should feel welcome and comfortable.
Challenge that by inviting game developers of different backgrounds to come together at this conference, show off their creative works and their scholarly advancements in gaming. And we want to bring these people together to have these critical discussions about the importance of diversity in gaming.
This is the first time WPI has hosted the event. Signs outside of Rocky's Ace hardware store say everything must go. The Worcester business will close its doors by the end of the year. The store's director of sales and marketing says the lease is expiring. The company runs more than 32 hardware stores in the country. It also has stores in Holden and Northborough. The race is heating up in the 17th Worcester District with just less than a month until the midterm elections. Democrat David LaBeouf and Republican Paul Fullen are vying for the seat left open by former state representative Kate Campanelli. The candidates will be debating on October 24th at 6:30 p.m. at Our Lady of the Angels Church. LaBeouf beat 2 opponents in the primary and says he is continuing to work hard and speak to voters before November 6th.
We're continuing to work hard. We're knocking on doors. We're meeting more people, making sure that we, again, like we did in the primary, we don't leave any voter for granted when we're spreading our message about moving the district forward. There are vast policy differences, especially in regards to healthcare, in regards to education, in regards to what are our solutions for moving the district forward. I'm really focused on solutions and want to bring communities together, and that's the type of style that I'm going to bring forward.
We have made repeated attempts to speak with Paul Fullen on camera, but have been unsuccessful. Both sides of State Ballot Question 1 are rushing to sway voters onto their side. Governor Charlie Baker announcing he's planning to vote no on the question that would mandate strict nurse-to-patient ratios in hospitals. The Boston Firefighters Union endorsed the Yes on One campaign at a news conference Thursday, saying more nurses means less waiting time in emergency rooms. Opponents who held their own news conference Friday say wait times would actually be extended. They worry about a practice known as, quote, holding the wall.
This is when the emergency medical personnel sit with their patients in a hall, in an ambulance, in a parking lot, until a nurse can be free to care for them.
We would never leave patients sitting in an emergency waiting room or untreated.
Advocates on either side of Question 1 will face off in a debate on Wednesday, October 24th.